Have you ever noticed that sometimes your money is not disappearing because of bad luck, but because of the people around you? Stay with me, because this one is uncomfortable. You are trying to save, but your circle normalizes spending. You are trying to grow, but your environment celebrates survival. You are thinking long-term, but everyone around you lives only for today. And slowly, without realizing it, your future starts paying the price for your present company. Listen carefully. Not every financial problem is an income problem. Sometimes it is a proximity problem. Proverbs 13:20 says, "He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." Notice that. It does not say you become what you pray around. It says you become what you walk around, because proximity shapes perspective, and perspective shapes prosperity. Let me tell you about David. David was hardworking. Good job, steady income, clear dreams. He wanted more. He talked about investing, starting a side business, building savings, escaping the cycle of constant financial pressure. And honestly, he had the capacity. But there was one invisible leak: his circle. Every weekend, the same pattern. Unplanned outings, soft life pressure, random contributions, unnecessary spending to keep appearances. Nobody said, "Let us destroy our future." No, it was subtler than that. It sounded like, "Guy, don't be too serious. Life is short. Enjoy yourself. You can save next month. Why are you acting like an old man? Just send your share." Small statements, but repeated often enough, they become a financial culture. And culture is powerful. One Friday evening, David met his old university friend, Michael. Michael was different. Not proud, not distant, just disciplined. While others laughed at budgeting, Michael respected it. While others spent to impress, Michael built quietly. David asked him, "Be honest, how are you moving forward financially while the rest of us keep restarting?" Michael smiled. Then he asked one question: "Who are you always around?" David laughed. "What kind of question is that?" But Michael continued, "Serious question, because many people are not broke because they lack money. They're broke because their environment keeps charging them an invisible tax." That phrase stopped him. Invisible tax. And it was true. The tax of keeping up appearances. The tax of bad habits becoming normal. The tax of guilt spending. The tax of friendships built only around consumption. The tax of people who clap for spending but disappear during rebuilding. Michael said, "If everyone around you makes discipline look strange, you will eventually feel guilty for being wise."
That hit hard, because David had felt it. Every time he said no to unnecessary spending, he felt like the difficult one. Every time he chose planning over pleasure, he felt like the boring one. Every time he protected his future, he looked like the problem. And many people break financial discipline not because wisdom is absent, but because social pressure is louder. Listen, some friendships are expensive, not because people ask directly for money, but because their lifestyle demands your peace. Their mindset drains your focus. Their habits normalize your downfall. And if you do not audit your circle, you may spend years financing stagnation. That night, David went home thinking. He asked himself, who helps me grow and who helps me stay stuck? That question changed everything. Because not everyone close to you is good for your future. Some people are good for entertainment, but dangerous for destiny. Some people are loyal, but financially destructive. Some people love you, but normalize mediocrity. Love does not cancel influence, and influence matters. David did not become proud. He did not insult anyone. He simply became intentional. Less unnecessary outings, more meaningful conversations, less pressure spending, more strategic planning, less explaining his discipline, more protecting his peace. He found people who talked about growth, people who respected delayed gratification, people who asked, "What are you building?" not just, "What are we spending?" And slowly his life changed, not because money suddenly increased, but because leakage reduced. Because wealth is not only about earning more, sometimes it's about bleeding less. Months later, David had savings, clarity, direction, less panic, more control. And for the first time, he realized something powerful. Sometimes the fastest way to financial peace is not a new job, it's a new environment. Let me ask you honestly, does your circle inspire discipline or reward carelessness? Do your friends challenge growth or normalize excuses? Do they celebrate your future or pressure your present? Because who you sit with can decide what you settle for. And settling is expensive. Listen carefully. You do not need friends who only help you spend. You need people who remind you to build. People who make wisdom look normal. People who make discipline feel honorable. People who understand that saying "not now" is not wickedness, it's maturity. Because proximity dictates prosperity. And if your environment keeps feeding financial foolishness, your effort will keep fighting unnecessary battles. Sometimes the breakthrough is not more money, it's fewer wrong voices, fewer distractions, fewer expensive associations. Sometimes peace begins with distance, not hatred, distance, boundaries, wisdom. Because not every table deserves your seat, and not every invitation deserves your money. So maybe today, instead of asking, "How can I earn more?" ask, "Who is silently draining my future?" That question may save years, because the wrong circle can make poverty feel normal, but the right environment can make discipline feel possible. Choose wisely. Audit your relationships. Protect your future. Because some costs don't look like bills, they look like people. Like, share, but more importantly, check your circle.